Welcome back to another day here on the Lorcana pixelborn client. Today we are going to be playing an Amber Amethyst aggro bounce deck. Now, bounce in purple is pretty strong. It's usually paired with something like Ruby, so it has late game control, or Steel, so it can balance the board, or even Sapphire. Sapphire's a pretty good one too. It has removal, has card draw. All great ones. The reason why it pairs with those guys though is because it typically struggles with the late game. So today we're gonna try to pair it with Amber and go under our opponents entirely. We don't want to see a late game at all. We want the game to actually be over before there's a late game. So we're running Lilos alongside the Maleficent, alongside the Pinocchio. These are some very aggressive lore characters. We have Arthur with Madame Mims and the Pascals, Maleficent, and of course the greatest of all time, Merlin Goat. These guys are all really powerful synergy pieces together, bouncing each other, questing for a ton, protecting each other. It's also really strong to turn one Lilo or Maleficent, be able to quest, possibly even waiting on Madame Mim, maybe even getting to Fox Madame Mim. So you possibly get 2 to 4 lore out of these guys before your opponent even has a chance to technically deal with them. And by that time, Madame Mim's already saving the day. Speaking of saving the day, we have Stitch and the Queen, 2 characters that will quickly shift into bigger versions of themselves, questing for a lot more, and in the case of the Queen, having a really powerful ability. On the very slim off chance we do need to attempt to stabilize for a turn or 2, she'll help us take down characters. Mostly Stitch is in here, big Stitch is in here for just that surprise 3 lore. Comes out of nowhere and you can quest immediately. Running 2 copies of Be Our Guest just to try to nail down the shifting, and then Friends on the Other Side for card draw to keep our hand fairly full. Mostly Friends on the Other Side is a filler card. Technically this deck is a 56 card deck with Friends on the Other Side. So should be a little easier to get our stuff. Should be pretty fast games. If they go long, we have an issue. But even if we do have to go to a late game, our ability to just play something and put our opponent in the position of kill it or die, that's also a thing that can happen. We don't want to go late, but we can if we absolutely must. Let's see if we can win a few. Going first. We may actually really enjoy going first. Alright. The Inkables are going to be the issue. I have a Snake, a Be Our Guest, and a Stitch. That's enough to get us going. Yeah, I'm not going to ink the Simba. We need that. Alright, let's keep it. We'll start with the Be Our Guest. We'll see how aggressive my opponent is. If they're not too aggressive, we may go Pinocchio. Ah, they're running Ruby. Alright, if they're running Ruby, we have to play Simba. Why, you may ask? Because they're going to run the Queen. And the Queen has Rush. Yep. If you're gonna rush into Simba. Minnie Mouse. You know, the Amethyst Ruby usually doesn't run too many, if any. Oh, do I keep Simba? Of the Rush Queens. I think I'm gonna keep Simba. Alright, a Stitch off the top would be pretty brutal. A big Stitch. Be just in time to shift. Roxy 89. All right, Roxy. Look at this board. It's so cute. Is this like a... It's like a mouse, but it's like, it's just off enough where it's not like infringing. Question. Bounce the Pascal. Tax the Simba. Tax the Lilo. Good plays. Ooh, I want it all. Well, I could play the Simba. But he's not going to protect much. I will basically be trading the board. So I'm questing up to 9 here. If I play an Arthur, waiting's not a good game for me. And I can't play 2 characters because of the ink ability. I think Simba just has to go. Can't fall behind on my ink. Arthur or Pinocchio? If I quest with Pinocchio here, I'll still have a Pinocchio. Or just save it. They don't know about my other Pinocchio. This is where our deck can start to have some trouble. These turns where we have to strategically skip questing, not good for us. Alright, opponent's gonna go just as wide. Alright, we're gonna lose an Arthur. Still don't know about the other Pinocchio. But now they do. Alright, Arthur definitely dies to Madame Mim. Question is, do they quest, bounce, replay at attack? I think that's what I would do. They are gonna quest. Ooh, Maui's good. Alright. Now we're in a defeat my board or lose the game. Question is, do you play 1 or 2 characters there, right? Do you sacrifice both and possibly lose both of them? Or do you get both in case they have only 1 removal? In hindsight, I think I should have played both. Because what are we looking at? A Dragonfire? And now we're looking at board wipe starting next turn. This is probably my best opportunity. I should have played both. Lady Tremaine. Yeah, I should have played both. Like I said, now we're looking at board wipes. I definitely should have played both. Dang it, dang it, dang it. And now I play both and it's a mistake because we're looking at board wipes. So I just did 2 back-to-back mistakes. But just as an example, I have to force him to do it. Right, because now it's board wipe or bust. Board wipe or bust. It's actually on +7 because of Arthur. That should be quest, quest, quest. Arthur bounces. Ooh. But now you have no ink. So the game just ended. Ah, game's over. Good job, opponent. Appreciate it. You just spent all your ink. No way you could have won from this position. Roxy, it was fun playing with you. Ooh, we don't like going second. Never have, never will, always will. Come on, Dak. I can't seem to get a shift character together. It's my first time seeing friends. Let's get rid of all that. Gross. Gross. Emerald. Okay, I do like emerald. Come on! Why am I getting all the big things? You guys are just gonna be ink. That's exactly what's gonna happen to you. You're gonna get inked. Oh, Hercules. Alright. I don't think we're playing Simba this time. I think I'm gonna go right into Snake. Stronger than your Hercules. When does Big Hercules shift? Is that also a 5? Or is that a 4? I don't remember. Have to make a choice, either Stitch or the Queen. Alright, let's get these down before they're in Sword's range. I don't know when they can shift. I genuinely don't remember when that shift happens. Is it 4 or is it 5? Something tells me it's 4. Because I think it's 1 cheaper than Cinderella. In which case they can shift and then they can sing a Swords. Okay, not gonna happen. Oh, this is the guy that cares about when you deal points of damage. When you play a Bloodborne character, deal 1 damage to each opposing character. Yeah, it's got a built-in Tinkerbell effect. So they're gonna board wipe me now. So I'm definitely playing the Fox, I think. And then we'll see a trade with Hercules into Madame Mim. It's gotta be the Fox, right? Yeah, we're gonna see a Hercules play here. We'll keep Maleficent in our hand. It's gonna be Hercules because it's Floodborn and it'll trigger. Yep, there he is. So he was 4, okay. And now we'll see the Hercules attack Madame Mim. Herc will get 1 point of damage. Or are you gonna quest for 2? They're gonna attack, okay. Chief Bogo? The Chief could attack. They both quest for 2, so it really doesn't matter, I suppose. Madame Mim defeats Hercules. Really? They're gonna bounce Hercules back to their hand? Oh, that's cool. Same cost or less. Okay. Thought I had an actual, like, restriction on it. Ugh, these Floodborn characters, man. Would love to get the Stitch down. Let's take out the Chief Bago. Or protect my little guys. Get the goat. Play the Maleficent. It's protected from the Chief. From another bounce shenanigan. Does that mean this is a Hercules in play without being shifted? So they got a Hercules back for free, right? So they bounced the shifted Hercules, so 2 Hercules went back to their hand. And then they just replayed the one Hercules. So they actually got a Hercules back out of that. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that functioned that way. Alright, opponent's thinking deeply. Do I play a swords? Of course you play a swords. I'm a very fragile deck. They don't want to play Smash on the Merlin, I get it. The longer you let him sit though, the more he's a problem. Unless your opponent can't bounce him, and I'll be honest, I definitely can't. Chief Boggo. Okay, they're setting up for next turn. Another goat. Interesting. I think I'm just playing goat, honestly. This could be a goat game. Don't sleep on the goat. He is nasty. It may have been a mistake to not ink the Stitch. Just have the extra resources to go with the Arthur and the goats. That's like some cool band, Arthur and the Goats. Alright, we definitely see Maleficent down here. Do we see the goat get dealt with? Actually, I'm satisfied with that. We haven't seen any swords yet. And I'm sure my opponent is running a few. They care about dealing damage, I think. I mean, didn't we see him ink the beast? He cares about damage being dealt. This is a click, click, boom deck. Little Floodborn synergy. Donald Duck I still find to not be a good card. Alright, they are going to try to deal with my goats. That's smart. They really should try to deal with my goats. Alright. All of my 1-drops with 1 toughness are not going to survive, so that's an easy ink. 6. What am I going to do with 6? Like I said, these guys just don't survive, which is really rough. But I can force my opponent. Oh, they lost their Chief Boggo. That's 3 in the grave. My 1 guys might actually survive it, now that I'm looking at it. Let's see. So let's go Pinocchio. Let's quest with the goat. Let's play Maleficent. Let's play Madam Mim. I'm just forcing my opponent to have answers. Yeah, I'll draw a card. 2 goats. That is dang near lethal. And my opponent has to deal with my board, which for them again shouldn't be that difficult. There's the swords. We knew they would eventually have it. The deck has to have it. There's only 2 main reasons you play Steel these days. A whole new world in the swords. Alright, so basically they have to win on their turn. +9. I think my opponent just loses. No, I can't play both goats. That's the problem. I can't play both goats. Yeah, we're definitely not playing Maleficent here. 1 goat's not enough. But my opponent doesn't realize that I'm going to gain the lore. So yeah, we're still in the same position. Opponent has to win on their turn. They just don't know it, which is better for us. They'll take out the Madam Mim. Let's ink the Stitch here. I meant to ink the Stitch, but I guess that I guess I can't ink, so that's fine. Whoops! And I'll pass the turn. Yes, I'll draw an additional card. Thank you. Okay. This is it. This is the turn. My opponent has to win, but they don't know that they have to win. They probably feel a ton of pressure because they see the goat and they know. So they're like, how do I get rid of Stitch? Madam M's easy. That's an attack. And the goat needs to go. If I get the chance to quest with the goat, that might be a path out for him though. Instead of trying to deal with my goat, letting me quest with it. That'll buy him an additional turn. Again, they don't know about my other goat. Alright. They think they've survived a turn. Don't sleep on the goats, man. They're so strong. They're so tricky. You never know how many goats your opponent's got. Quest and goat. Boom. Goats for the win, man. Who's second? The Eternal Curse. Okay, Stitch. Double Pascal's got great protection. Let's get rid of Mim and Simba. Let's try to get Little Queen. Nope, not gonna happen. Okay. So let's see. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 Stitch, turn 4 Stitch. Alright, we're not gonna see this. Yep, let's go down Protection Avenue this time. Alright, buddy. I have a friend. He's texting me right now. He's going on vacation and my phone is just blowing up. Stop it. Oh, I have to ink the snake, don't I? Pascals protecting each other from harm. There's an argument for holding on to the Maleficent for the Stitch. Now they can force something out, like a goat. But if they care about questing, if they care about their lore, then it's not necessarily the best. See, I could get Stitch down here. And then next turn I have Stitch into this. Or I could set up an Arthur for bouncing the Maleficent. Still early enough in this game. Arthur's really only good for one swing, though. I need him with a... either resist or a Simba. Alright, let's go Stitch. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it here. I'm gonna go for it because either Madam Mim attacks, or they use her ability to play something else that attacks. I don't know what that does. Ready, chosen damage character viewers, they can't quest, draw a card. Okay. Go the distance. Nice. That's a good way to get around the whole not being able to quest with her that turn. But it is ultimately a stalemate. Oh. Hate giving up another one. I should keep the Pascal. Alright, we could see a Maui coming up. So I'm not gonna actually... not gonna quest with Stitch, funny enough. I want to try to get some value off of him. Hopefully my opponent doesn't just have removal. That's always a feel bad too. Like a Dragonfire. Alright, using the ability. playing the rabbit. See, that's a good one to pair it with, because you're going to get 2 card draw out of that right away. Well, 1 at the end of the turn, I suppose, which isn't very helpful. They're looking for answers in all the wrong places. That's not true. The deck's pretty good. Ah, there was a Maui. They may have just drawn it, though, so it's hard to say. There's the queen. That's a little unfortunate, isn't it? Alright, let's start with the Pascal. Yes, we will tap him and draw a card. Fantastic. I will play an Arthur. Let's drop off the Madam. Quest and quest. Oh, let's see. Do I go for the 3, jump up to 12? Maui comes down, takes him out. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Not quite there, but it's very close in a board full of Pascals. And we're getting close to the board wipe. I don't have a 1 drop or 2 drop in my hand. I'm likely to draw 1. Aha, there we go, Dragonfire. I'm glad we got him. Glad we got the points out of him. Alright, we got 6 on board. Makes me to 18, and then I have a bunch of Pascals to deal with. Interesting. Quest, quest, quest. We're definitely in a position of kill my thing or die, which is always a losing position. It's very difficult to come out of a, oh, I have to kill all their stuff or I die position and still win. But if any color can do it, it's going to be Ruby. Alright, Arthur down. How do you deal with the Pascals? That's a good one. That's 1 Pascal down. If I draw a goat, game's over. I have a lot of outs. We're coming into board wipe territory, so I'm gonna I play the Pascal for the protection. Board wipe territory. Opponent's in a lot of trouble. They have to kill everything I play every single turn. How crazy do I want to go here? Let's get the Maleficent because it'll replace itself and it's lethal play. Oh, there's goat. Game over. Alright, I'm gonna give my opponent the well played to let them know I just drew the goat. There's not a dang thing they can do. Yep. Brutal! Alright, second it is. Man, I hate going second. All day. I've never been able to get... I got 1 shift. I got 1 stitch shift. That was it. All day. Such unluck. Go away, Arthur. I can't do anything with either of these guys. Alright, let's just pitch the whole hand and hope I get a little queen. No little queen. Okay. And I have to go second. Alright, Amber. Opponent's really thinking about their turn 2 play here. Man, I'm so blue because of this new background. Cusco. See, that's why going second sucks. Really have no way to deal with that. Let's go Maleficent and Stitch. I will quest. Stitch will take down the Cusco at the very least. Oh boy. The only thing I don't like about this aggro deck is these particular colors. All of the characters have such small butts, so they die to everything. Well, crap on a cracker. Let's just be aggressive. It's not a great game plan for me. We will eventually lose from this position. And Steel. Alright, we're in a lot of trouble. Next turn, they just play a Swords and we're... Especially if they quest this turn. That'd be a little greedy, but it would definitely tell me what they got. Ugh. Sometimes this game is not very fun. Let my goat. Sucks I had an Inca goat for that. I don't like the grandmother thing. It's like the matchmaker knows what deck I'm playing, and I'm getting paired against a bunch of really controlling, aggressive decks. That just, all they focus on is murdering your opponent's characters. Such murder! Now let's see if we can pull out a victory. We are 8 points ahead. Grandmother's considering attacking the Stitch. They fear a shifted Stitch. Do you have a bounce character to bounce that fairy godmother back? Is that what you're thinking? There's the bounce character. Cinderella. Just so they can have the, so if I play Pinocchio, Pinocchio dies. 1 and 2 practically puts me at 11. And Pinocchio dies when they play Cinderella because grandmother will make Pinocchio exert. Alright, here comes Cinderella. Oh, they have the swords. Of course they do. Grandmother down. Alright, watch me still win from here. Of course I drew a Stitch! You stupid rock star. Oh man. Where were you when I wanted to shift? Alright, now we're just basically playing this until my opponent wins. Oh. It's a little thought experiment. What series of cards could I draw in what order to win this game? So far, my opponent is nothing but removal. Ugh, so gross. Everything they have is just damage. And all my things have 1 toughness. Can't even play you. Uh-oh, we're in a ton of trouble. How much punishment do I take? No way my opponent doesn't have the removal for it now. And even if they don't, I just lose the queen next turn. It's an Elsa, of course. Of course. Oh no! We don't want to go into the late game. My opponent's successfully taken us to the late game. Alright, I think I could stand maybe one more card draw. Is this even really happening? You should not attack. You're already in a winning position. Alright, opponent's got it. I can't win from there. They're just gonna quest for victory. And for the post-game wrap. Alright, the video's shorter today. That's just a consequence of this deck either winning way faster or losing way faster. Yeah, it is what it is. I don't want to have a video with 10 games in it. I personally wouldn't enjoy watching that, so I don't want to make that kind of video. But for the most part, we did pretty well today. The deck is very, very much a 50-50, and the client, there is a matchmaking program, and I think the client has identified this deck as being what it is, and so you get paired against a lot of decks that are more than capable with dealing with your stuff. It just comes down to a matter of, are they going to be lucky enough to have this stuff when they need it? Which makes the deck a coin toss, a 50-50. I don't know if I like 50-50. I'm still waiting for a deck to come out that's got that 60% win rate, 70% win rate. That's the deck I really want to play. But outside that, what would I change? You know, the consistency for the shifts was just awful today. I don't know if that's enough to justify changing anything. It's probably just bad luck on my part to never see these guys together, even when you're mulliganing for it. You just never get your shift targets in your opening hand, which was rough. And I know it can happen. It has happened for me. Just not today. Just bad luck today. The tough thing with this deck is your defense on all your characters is so small that every piece of removal can sneeze and all of your stuff just dies, just instantly. So if anything, the yellow, the amber would come out and you would bring in either more removal and try to play more of a mid-range deck, or just something with bigger butts. But again, that probably moves you more into the mid-range. This deck's trying to be really fast. It just is unfortunate right now that the meta is very anti-fast. They have a lot of pieces to deal with fast. So, take that with a grain of salt. Links are in the description down below for the deck list if you want to take it, try to run with it, and make something of it. The Patreon's down there. You can be 2 episodes ahead of everyone else. And then link for the Discord so you can come hang out with the community, chat with me. I get recommendations from decks all the time from people in Discord. So if you like, it's cool if you guys leaving comments on the videos, but I do prioritize taking my recommendations from the Discord community. And then I also prioritize taking Patreon over everything else entirely. So if you really want to see something, that's the way to go. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.